Hi guys, this is Tiffany with my channel Give Me a Reason, and I'm here to do a video for you guys, an update video. Sorry for all the noise. I should have waited to wash my dishes and the dishwasher, so hopefully you guys hear me. So let me get good and comfortable so we can talk and not mess up my pillows, you know, my little decoration. But anyway, how you guys doing? You guys doing all right? You doing all right? Cause it's been crazy. Okay, I'm just here to talk, y'all. We just here to talk. It's been crazy. So you been all right? You been doing all right? Okay. Cause this over here, okay, let's just talk. Okay, if y'all don't know me, my name is Tiffany. We could talk about a spiel another day. Y'all know I have a whole spiel. But hello guys, if you're new, my name is Tiffany. If you're not new, hey y'all, how y'all doing? Yeah, let's talk. Okay, let's just talk. Okay, let's just get on with the get on. Okay, yeah. It has been crazy. What in the hell is going on in this world today? Excuse my French, but bruh, what's going on? This is crazy. It's crazy. So let's just get it talking, y'all. So let me tell you what's been going on with me, okay? Why your girl been MIA? Because this right here is stressing me out. So you guys know I made a video. I think I made a cooking video. I was cooking, or I was talking to you guys or whatever, but I went to the doctor and all of that. They gave me another cortisone shot, and then they wanted to see how it worked, and so I was supposed to see orthopedic, however you say it, whatever. And I was waiting for them, and the week that I was supposed to go see my doctor to see how the second shot went, it was like a Tuesday. I had been in the house anyway, and this is like at the beginning of what month it says, April. This was like the beginning of March that, you know, the coronavirus, the COVID-19 was being discussed, and you know, Trump was saying that it was just like a flu. It's gonna be gone like poof, you know, by summer. It's nothing to worry about. And I was like, okay, well, you know, it's just a flu. You're not really worried about touching anything. You're not actually worried about what you're worried about right now today, okay? Because back then it wasn't the stay at home, stay at place. It was all China that was going through things, and it wasn't us over here yet. But y'all, I think that Tuesday I went to pay a bill, and I came back. And I went to pay a bill. I went to 2 stores. I didn't touch anything. I had my hands in my pocket. I came home. I washed my hands, whatever. And this is before everything got crazy. So I came home, and I was like, oh man, my shoulder hurt. Now you guys, if you don't know, I got hurt. If you've been here, you've been following me, you know I got hurt. I hurt my shoulder, my neck, and my back, and my head, and my back. So my shoulder started hurting, and I was like, oh, my shoulder hurting, let me take some pills. So I laid down. I was tired, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna lay down. I'm gonna take a nap. I'm tired. You know, I'm just gonna take a quick hour nap, and then I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna cook me something to eat. And I laid down, and I woke up, and I had been sweating. So I was sweating like crazy. And normally when I sleep whether it's day, night, cold, hot. I have this blanket or a blanket that's in my room, and I lay down, I cover my head, because I want, you know, if it's during the day, I want darkness. And mind you, it was hot outside. So I wake up and I'm sweating. And of course I'm looking at the news, and they're talking about, oh, you know, now it's getting really bad now. You know, it's people that has pre-existing conditions, people who've been sick before. You need to be a little bit more careful. You know, you can't, and then it started coming out where you can't touch this. You gotta just stay, you know, you gotta stay far away. You're not supposed to touch your face, and all of this. And all of this was out, but now it's like all of these new details were emerging, and you're just like, wait, what? Wait. So at that point, I went into a complete panic. I've never had panic attacks. I've never had any anxiety attacks, but I literally, y'all, hand to God, had a panic attack. I was freaking out. I went to thinking, oh my God, did I touch something? Oh my God, I got 1 kilo. Oh my God, I'm somebody with one of those, you know, that has, you know, a compromised immune system. Did I touch something? I remember having my hand in my pocket. Did I talk to someone? I went into a complete panic, okay, literally. So I'm sweating even more. So I'm like, why am I sweating? Why am I sweating? And it's nothing's, I'm not even thinking clearly. Okay. Then I'm like, my shoulder hurt. Oh man, my shoulder hurting is bad. It was bad. Okay, it was bad. So I said, okay. I said, they say you're going to feel fatigue. So I get up and I start cleaning and praying and cleaning and praying. And I'm praying. I'm like, God, no. Okay. Lord, no. This not it, Lord. Like, I done been through enough in the last couple months, God. I mean, just no. Not this, God. Please. Cover me from this, please. And so I finished cleaning up. And the house was already clean, but I was scrubbing everything. I'm like, scrubbing anything. So I come back and I sit down. I feel a little bit better after I prayed. I'm doing that old time prayer. You call on Jesus, 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 that type of prayer. If you've attended a church like that. So I sit down, I'm like, okay, I feel a bit better. So I get ready to watch, my favorite show, Family Feud. And I get down and watch, Family Feud. And I get this feeling again, and it felt like the walls were closing in on me. It felt like somebody was hugging me real tight and I couldn't breathe. You know how like somebody hug you like, okay, yeah, and they like trying to pop your back and you can't get free. And then it's like it got dark. It felt like a cloud was over me, and I started getting heart palpitations, and I started freaking out, and I'm like, oh my God, like, what I'm saying, my shoulder hurting worse than it was before. I mean, I don't know why. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna call my mom. Now mind you, I hadn't went to the doctor yet, because this was on a Tuesday, my appointment was on a Wednesday. So I sit down, I calm down, I said, well, I'm gonna call my mom and I'm gonna tell my mom to pray. I'm not gonna tell her what's going on, I'm not gonna tell her what I'm experiencing, I'm just gonna tell her to pray. If you don't know me, well, if you've been following me for a long time, I've told you before that my mom is a seer. God shows her things, and I've witnessed it. I mean, if people know me and know my mom and been to my mom's church, they can leave it in the comments and they'll tell you if my mom have ever told them something, God got to be telling them, okay? So my mom has that gift, and it was always such a pleasure, and it's just so beautiful to see her tell people things that they know that she didn't know because she's never met them before, and God tells her something, and she tells them what to do when it works out for them for their good. So that was always been a blessing. But you got to remember, my mom is still human. My mom believes in God. She has faith. She's been saved all my life. I'm a miracle, okay? I'm a walking miracle, okay? I'm not even supposed to be here today. So, but my mom is still human. So if I call my mom and tell her I'm sick or I'm not feeling well, her first thing is to worry, because I'm I'm here in Houston, and they're in Florida. It's not a drive, a skip, hop, and a jump like she normally, will be there. And so then she think I'm here alone, and I gotta go to the emergency room alone, and she goes through that motion because I'm her baby. I'm always a sick baby. I'm the youngest. So she's gonna, have those human emotions, but then she's gonna revert back to her faith, and she's gonna pray. So I call my mom. I'm like, hey mom, I'm just calling. Could you pray for me? And she was like, oh baby, what's wrong? I was like, oh, I'm just feeling a little bit nervous because I got to go to to the doctor tomorrow. I don't want to be around all those sick people. I'm just trying to, stay from this whole, I'm trying to stay away from this whole COVID-19 crap, for real. So she was like, okay baby, I pray. So she started praying, doing her regular prayer. And then when my mom starts, or God starts speaking to my mom, and she's feeling something in your body, in her body, she gets quiet. She's, she starts mumbling, and then she's like, okay God, okay. And so then that's what she did. She was like, okay God, Tiffany, why is my heart beating so fast? That's not your heart, Tiffany. No, why my heart beating so fast? What is this over you? What is this darkness over you? And I'm like, I don't know. And so I'm trying to stay calm. She's like, no, what's wrong? Is something wrong? Or what's wrong? Is it something you tell me? I'm like, no, I went out, I came back, and I watched the news, and they're saying people, with compromised immune systems, they're gonna get it worse. And here I am, I just got to the hospital, and then I went out, and I'm trying to figure out if I touched something. So she's like, baby, calm down. Why does it have to be you? Don't think like that. Please just calm down. So she talked to me, and she tells my dad, she's like, Dad, she tells my dad, she's like, dear, get up. We got to pray for Tiffany. She needs prayer. We need prayer. So my dad was like, what's wrong? So she's telling him like something's going on with her. She needs our help. She's having, she's going through something, emotionally. So my dad get up and they start praying. So we finally get past that. I sit here for a little bit. I couldn't really get into Family Feud. I go and I lay in the bed. I start listening to like videos about anxiety, panic attacks, and faith and all these just different videos until I finally fall asleep. I tossed and turned, but I finally went to sleep. I wake up the next day, I go to the doctor. And so when I go to the doctor, you know, he's talking to me, he's telling me, well, you know, how do you feel? And I'm like, you know, I'm still having headaches and, you know, a little pain in my shoulder. So he was like, well, I tell you what, you know, you're going to see this orthopedic, and, you know, I'll put in a prescription for you, and we'll see if you need therapy, or they're going to give you a shot where the discs are actually, you know, bulging. And I was like, okay. So I leave the doctor's office, and I'm feeling good. I'm out in the, you know, and out in the elements, and I'm, you know, breathing in fresh air. I take the long way to the airport. I sit by the airport and I watch, you know, the few planes that was taking off. I watched them take off. I bought some lunch and I'm eating my lunch, watching the planes, and then I rode around for a little bit, and I came the long way home, and then I was like, okay, I'm gonna go home and cook. And so I felt good. I came home and I cooked, and I sat down and watched Family Feud, and it hit me again, and I started having, you know, a panic attack and anxiety attacks, and I'm looking around like, okay, did I touch, you know, okay, you know, my shoulder never hurt this. I mean, I was freaking out. Y'all don't understand. I've never had these ever, and never. I've been nervous to hear what the doctor's going to tell me, but I've never had this type of emotional, you know, just emotional breakdown. I've never had that. So I go, you know, and I sit in my bed. I said, I'm just gonna go to sleep and turn on, you know, something, you know, spiritual. And I'm still having it. So I call my mom again. I'm like, Mom, I don't know what's going on. I'm getting frustrated because I don't know what it is. Why am I having this? So she's like, baby, please come down. You're bringing sickness on yourself. You know, you're going to stress yourself out. You know, your blood pressure been up and down. Just please come down. Why does it have to be you? Don't wish that on you. Stop talking like that. I'm like, you know what? You're right. You know, I'm just going to lay down and go to sleep. So I lay down and go to sleep. So then the third day, y'all, I know, I get up. I said, I'm going to get up and I'm going to go to the park. And so I found this park. Well, I've been passing by it for a while, but I actually went out there. And it's a big park, and they have a pool. It's just like a really nice park. So I go to the park, I sit there, I get something to eat, and I sit down and I'm eating and, you know, just breathing in fresh air. I'm not out, you know, people are out and about. And this is before they did this whole stay at home or stay in place here in Houston. So people are playing basketball, barbecuing, cooking, playing cards, gambling, walking, couples, picnics. It's just, and you know, the guy riding the kids around on the train. You know, they have like this little train that the guy was, you know, taking them on, and I'm like looking at the kids like, oh my God, this is so beautiful. So I take the long way home. I'm riding around, I'm just taking the long way home, and then I get home, I feel good, and then I sit here and I'm watching TV, and then I'm like thinking about like the kids, you know, on the train. I'm like, and just I started thinking, look at you, you 40, you in your 40s. Well, I'm not 40, I'm in my 40s. You're in your 40s and you're single. You have no kids. And the thoughts came in my head was like, I remember your friends to tell you all the time you flew private charter that, you know, Tiffany, you're young, you're in your 30s, you should, you know, slow down from flying so much and try to meet somebody and have kids. And, you know, she used to tell me all the time, Tiffany, this is not quality of life. And I tell her, girl, you don't see this chick? You don't see this chick? And she'll come to me again, and she'll be like, Tiffany, you young. You know what I'm saying? Don't worry, y'all. I wash my hands with bleach and soap. Okay, I ain't playing. So, you know, she'll tell me, Tiffany, you know, you're young, you should meet somebody. So she'll try to hook me up all the time. She's like, I really want you to settle down. You really need to try to think about a family. You know, time is passing you by. And I'm like, girl, I just paid my car for 7 months. Do you not see this money I'm making? Girl, it'll come. And then she just used to always talk to me about that. So I started getting depressed, like, look at you, you're here by yourself, and you know, you don't have a significant other. Everybody's with their boyfriends or their girlfriends or family. Your family's waiting in Florida, and you're here by yourself. And just all of these negative thoughts started coming just like in my head, and I was like, what is going on? Like, what's going on? So I started feeling sad, and I was about to cry, because I'm like, look, here I am, I'm here. I got this big, you know, I got this big, nice apartment home. I'm here by myself, sharing it by myself. I'm not coming home to anybody. I'm here by myself. And before, it didn't bother me, because you guys, you got to remember, I would go to work. You know what I'm saying? I go make money. You know, and if I meet somebody, I meet somebody. But it never bothered me being here until now, when my friend said, you know, the other day, which is I agree with. She was like, it's different when you stay home because you just stay home, but now it's like you have to stay home, especially me with my immune system. I really have to just go out and get what I need, and maybe go to the park, but not be around people. And I miss that interaction. I miss working. So I had to really sit down and kind of talk myself out of that and calm myself down. And I just was like, I'm just going to get past this. I took some medicine, and one of the muscle relaxers that they give me, they gave me a prescription, actually put me to sleep, so actually helped me sleep. So when I started getting a little bit more depressed, the muscle relaxer kicked in, and I was like, okay, I'm sleepy, and I got through that. The next day I talked to my friend, and we talked for 8 hours, y'all. 8 hours, a whole full work day. We talked, and we laughed, we talked about life and past. And she was the first person I flew with when I flew private charter, and we hit it off, and we became really good friends. She's like my sister. We ended up being roommates, and we would go through things. We always was there for one another. If we would go through things, we need space, you know, we would give each other space. But right when we get through whatever we're going through, we would link up. And she was going through the same thing. Like, she said she came home and she thought she had a fever. She went to freaking out, and like, oh my God. And I'm like, oh my God, like, me too. And so that helped me out a lot, talking to her. And then people start calling, and I start getting calls all the time from friends, FaceTimes, and just finally getting through it. And I kind of finally got past the whole, you know, afraid and all of that, and just started thinking of ways to really protect myself. So I would go to the store and get everything I could and just bring it home, and only just ride around and not get out my car, you know, wipe my car down, wipe myself down, clean my hands with bleach, like the whole nine. It wasn't, I had sanitizer, but the whole, I was like, I won't bleach, I'm not, So I felt a little bit better, you know, start trying to get past this. Still paranoid, having the moments where I was like, okay, did I wipe the door down? Okay, let me wipe the door down. But, you know, I finally got past that. And then I think the next 2 days I started having pains in my chest, and my chest started getting tight, and I started getting tingles down my arm and my fingers. And I was like, okay, that's weird, maybe it's just my shoulder hurting. But then it just kept, the next day it was just getting worse. It started, you know, it started coming all, you know, the shoulder hurt up here, and it'll come all the way over here, then my head will hurt, and then it'll get tight around my chest. And I was like, I'm just gonna take some Tylenol. Third day, I couldn't do it no more. I was like, something's not right. Because then I started feeling like I couldn't breathe, and I started having, I began to have pressure in my chest. So I'm like, okay, these are signs of, heart attack, or, or a stroke, or one of the two, because I'm getting numb at the same time, but I'm getting shortness of breath. I'm just getting all these mixed, just different symptoms. I'm like, let me just go to the doctor. So before I went to the doctor, I called my mom again. She prayed for me again. She's like, please come down, please come down. So that's okay. I'm gonna go to the doctor and make sure. I'm not gonna sit here and it's something wrong with me. Let me go. And I mean, I couldn't breathe. I couldn't breathe in deep. My chest felt tight, and then I really got scared. Like, oh my God, because I'm not having any other symptoms. My shoulder's just hurting, and then I start getting this tingling and numbness down my arm. Y'all, I'm gonna stop pushing because I don't want to mess this up. I kid you not, y'all. I promise you on everything. I get to the hospital. Okay, it's raining and it's at night. Now this is when they locked everything down. Like, everything was locked down. It was like it was a stay in place, stay at home. It was like, now it's serious. Like, okay, yeah, you don't need to be outside. Y'all need to stay home. They started closing down different restaurants. I mean, it got to the point where they was just things started closing down. So I get to the hospital, and I'm in the parking garage. I walk to the emergency room exit, and I can't get to the emergency room. It looked different. The hospital looked different. I'm like, okay. And it's nighttime. It's raining. It's eerie. And I mean, when I tell you this hospital is busy, it was like a ghost town. Okay. It used to be people out walking, cars up and down. It was none of that. You understand me? It was like something out of a scary movie. So I'm walking, I'm like, oh my God, this is scary. Like, what's going on? So I couldn't even go through to the emergency room like I normally do, because they closed it down. And so having I seen this doctor who was coming to work, and I was like, I said, I thought the emergency room was here. I said, did the emergency room move or something? He was like, no. He said, you have to go through the front door now. He said, just, he told me where to go. He said, you can follow me. I said, okay. So he said, if you're going to take the elevator, just come down one level and just walk across the street. Because he was, taking the stairs. And I was like, okay. So I get there, y'all. When I walk through, you have to go through the main entrance. All the other entrances are closed, blocked off. Officers sitting by the door. You can go out, but you can't go in. So I go to the front door, and they stop you right here behind this yellow line. Like, stop. Right here. And then you got this big old table. You got nurses sitting behind the table. They're wearing all these masks. They're like 10 feet away. You have to yell to them what your symptoms are. You got people coming in with a full hazmat suit, face covering everything, putting this, electronic, portable thermometer to your face. They ask you, are you coughing? Have you had fevers? And I'm looking around like, and all this, I got all this stuff in my face, and they doing all, and I'm like, no, this what's going on. I got a tightness in my chest. So they look at me like, what? And I'm like, yeah, but I got a tingling in my arm, and I'm like, I have one kidney, and I'm just trying to, I don't know what's going on, and I'm just a little afraid because I never had this tightness, and it feels like my arm going numb, and I got this like pain of going around my jawline. So I'm just trying to see what's going on. So they was like, okay, you got one kidney. So they was like, you need to get suited up. So they put me like in this, paper suit, mask on my face, and they was like, okay, go to the emergency room. So they said, go this way. So I'm walking around to the emergency room, because I'm telling you, if you pass the yellow line, they will tackle you. They have officers stand up there to make sure you don't pass the yellow line, okay? You have to stop right there, and once you finish yelling like, okay, this is what it is, you have to turn around and go to the emergency room. Then you get around to the emergency room. You're not even in the emergency room. You got to stop again behind another yellow line. Then you got to yell to this person. Okay, my name is Tiffany. I've been here before. This is the last 4 digits of my social security number, blah, blah. So you got to yell. You got to speak clear, because you got all this stuff all over your face and all this, especially if you have a pre-existing condition. So you got this stuff over your face. I'm like, oh my God, what is going on? So I get past that. So this nurse comes behind me, and the walk to the emergency room is something completely different. So she tells me, she said, well, she's going to the back. So the lady was like, I'll take her. So she said, just follow me. So I'm like suited and booted, okay? So she take me all the way around this long walk, and I'm finally in the emergency room. Get there, you're behind another yellow line. So they ask you to fill out this form. So you fill out this form, you give it to them. They damn near not touching it, and so then this person comes in, and they got a certain amount of people that could come and sit in this area. So you won't be next to somebody. You got to be further away from, like, you got to be far away from somebody, especially if you have a pre-existing condition. So then they come, and he gets my blood pressure. My blood pressure 177 over 102, and I'm like, what? He was like, your blood pressure, yeah, you have hypertension stage. We need to get you to the back. And I'm like, my blood pressure, what? Because mind you, I went and I purchased a blood pressure machine. Sorry, my camera turned off. But I purchased a blood pressure machine because of one my mom sent me. I gave it to my friend because she was younger. She had blood pressure issues, and I wanted her to be on top of it. And I didn't have that issue, until I got hurt. So I was like, this is for you to, make sure you take care of yourself, and make sure you, monitor your blood pressure. So I had to go buy my own. So I had been monitoring my blood pressure, and it was high, but it wasn't that high. So they immediately take me to the back. They hook me up to this, the EKG. They start taking all these tests, and then this doctor comes in. She's suited and booted, face all covered up, and I'm trying to tell her, and she's trying to tell me. And so they see that I'm a flight attendant. So they were like, you a flight attendant? I'm like, yes, but I haven't flown in almost 2 months. And they was like, what do you mean? And I was like, well, I got hurt January 1st. And I was off for majority of January. I did 2 trips, and I got, I started having issues again. They pulled me again, so I haven't been flying since then. So they was like, so you went out the country? No. You know, did you have any, you know, a lot of contact? No. You know, start asking you, do you have coughs? No. Fever? No. You know, just a tightness in my chest and numbness in my arm. So they're looking at my heart, and she was like, you have a heart murmur? I was like, oh, I forgot about that. It was like, yeah, we need to check, we need to make sure this is okay. I'm like, oh great, something else I forgot that was wrong. So then they're checking my heart, so she's like, we're gonna take a lot of x-rays. So they take some blood, they start an IV, and they tell me I had to do a urine test so they could look at my kidney and check my kidney levels. And then they took a x-ray of the front of my chest and the back, and to see what my lungs look like. And mind you, they didn't say anything about my lungs. They were supposed to be just trying to see, you know, with my heart. But I think they was trying to low-key see what was going on. So I'm waiting there, and they're like, do you want any medicine to, you know, we need to try to get you to calm down. They, you know, try to give me something to bring my, you know, blood pressure down. So they were doing my blood pressure every 30 minutes. I'm hooked up to this machine, and I'm getting a nurse. So they're like, you know, are you afraid to be in the hospital? I'm like, no. I damn near was raised in a hospital. This right here doesn't scare me. I'm just afraid because I never had this, you know, tightness in my chest ever. So she was like, you know, she said your blood pressure is really high. So it dropped from like 170. It was like 177, 102, and then it dropped from like to like 169 to like 90, 169 to like 98 or something like that. And it still was high. So they was like, you know, I need you to calm down. You know, they was like, you know, you haven't experienced any other issues? I'm like, no. So they're, you know, they come back, and the doctor's like, you're good with the bad stuff. You know, you're good with the bad stuff. Anything that you think that's bad that's going on right now, you're good. And they didn't tell me they were, you know, testing me my blood or anything, because I didn't get the test. But they looked at my lungs, they looked at a lot of things, and especially with me, you know, having pre-existing conditions. They were like, you're just having, they said you're having gastro, where I've always had acid reflux issues, but the stress was causing it to flare up. So it's like my food was sitting here and it wouldn't go down because I'm stressing. And then when I eat, I'm trying to eat really, you know, I don't have no appetite. So when I do eat, I'm trying to eat it really fast. So I'm putting big, large, you know, pieces in my mouth, and it's just the stress was bringing on a lot of things, you know, on my body that I didn't need. So they were like, you know, telling me, like, you know, when you have, you know, gastro issues, you have that tightness in your chest, you know, you have that burn. They said, was your chest burning? I'm like, yeah, it was burning, it was kind of hot. They was like, yeah, you know. And so they was telling me all these different, you know, symptoms I actually was having. And I was like, yeah, I remember having that. And it was like, yeah. They was like, have you burped? Or, you know. And I'm like, I really, you know, my food seemed to sit here. And it was like, you know, so they sit me with a specialist. They help me deal with that and things that I need to do, and telling me how sometimes, you know, with my type of acid reflexes, I had, you know, surgeries that my stomach line is really thin. So I already have issues with that, and I've had it all my life, you know. So this stress and a lot of things is making it flare up, and I really need to kind of calm down. So I was able to go home, which was perfect, because they was like, look, we're not trying to keep you here unless we have to, because it's you know, sick people here. We don't want you to get caught up in anything or have anything being brought to you. So, you know, we're going to send you home. We're going to let you talk to, you know, I talked to a specialist. And so when I got home, I sat down. I had to really sit down and just talk to myself, like, Tiffany, stop. You write this house down. You've taken extra precautions about, you know, when you go out. When you do go out, everything you touch, you clean your hands with something bleach related. You know, when you get in your car, you wipe it down, your steering wheel, anything that you touch. You know, when you get home, you wipe it down, everything. At night, you wipe it down, everything, your doorknobs, you know, places that you don't seem to think about. You know, I went and brought like zinc. I went and brought some women one-a-day vitamins, a lot of things with my immune system. I went and bought some airborne. I went and bought some elderberry. I went and bought some ginger and lemon tea. you know, I just went and bought things to help boost my immune system so I can stay healthy. But I made me this container. I put this on my Instagram, talking about how I wanted to wash my hands, because you know, Dr. Oz and, you know, Dr. Drew and all that was saying, you know, just wash your hands. I know you have sanitizer, but when you get home, wash your hands. But there are times when I'm just out riding around and I just want to, you know, get some food and go sit in my car and eat. I don't want to just use, you know, hand sanitizer. I want to make sure my hands are washed. So I actually had a big bottle of soap, dishwashing liquid, hand soap, water, and bleach, and I would take that around with me with some paper towels to wash my hands. And I would literally go in the store or go sit at, you know, go get my food and go to the park and wash my hands and, you know, rinse, you know, my hands out with the water and transfer all my food to different containers, you know, and just make sure that I'm not putting anything, like eating with my hands and not, my hands aren't washed. That's why I added the cup full of bleach. But my friend told me about this thing where this lady had bought this like plastic container from a dollar store, and she made her own like little hand wipes. So I couldn't find the container at the dollar store, so I got like this little small pitcher. And what it is you take some paper towels and you when you take the paper towels, you make this, you put the soap in there and you put it in here, and you take out the, you know, the black portion, like, you know, guys know, like in the middle here is a brown, but there you take out the brown cardboard and you cut the paper towels and you put it in a bowl that has an opening like this, and you make like a soap water. I put bleach in it, and you put it in here and you let it sit, and when you let it sit, it keeps it moist, and you have like paper towels where you can wash your hands. So I take this and I have soap on it, and so the soap, if you guys can see, the soap, see the soap coming on my hand. So I have the soap and it comes on my hand, and this has bleach on it. So I have, you know, bleach with water with, you know, soap, and I wash my hands like this. So when I'm out and about doing my errands and I'm getting in my car, I always wash my hands. I had somebody look at me and the lady was like, oh, that's a good idea. And so when she told me about that idea, that's what I did. I took some paper towels and I made that. So it actually, you know, clean my hands, and I do this for like 20 seconds, and then I have a big bottle of water in my car, and I always, you know, bring the bottle up here, and I always add, you know, the water from the sink, and I fill it up every time, and I wash my hands like this, and then I rinse my hands with a big bottle of water, and I'm good. And that makes me feel a little bit more comfortable than I normally do, but than I was before. I drink something hot every day. I, you know, drink something. I take all my vitamins. I take all my pills. I had some antibiotics. I started taking those just to be on the safe side. So I've really been trying to give myself a peace of mind, because what I told myself that night was, I was like, Tiffany, hold on. I told myself, I was like, Tiffany, you're gonna do a couple things. You're gonna stress yourself out, and you're gonna bring sickness on you, and you're gonna be in the hospital. You don't want that. Not only that, you're going to be in a hospital where you may be vulnerable to somebody who may have it, where people may not know they have it, and then a nurse may give it to you. You don't want to be in a hospital for that. Number 3, if you're in a hospital, you're taking up a bed because you're causing illness on yourself. So you're taking up a bed from somebody that may need it more than you. Stop. And when I talk to myself like that, I stop. And you know, and me talking to my friends on a regular, and people calling, and me just feeling a little bit more careful than I was. Like, I only go to the store when I need something. You know, I drank, you know, lemon water, my lemon ginger tea with honey, and I put a little turmeric, how you said, in there. And I just want to do something to keep my immune system up. I have a big bottle of Tylenol just in case I need it. But you know, I started having like a sore throat, but that was because, you know, the food was sitting here, and the acid reflux was just really, it was really like bothering me. It just felt like my throat was closing. And so I was watching news, they was like, oh, if you have it, they said maybe acid reflux. I'm like, no. I mean, they say it messes with your gastro something, and that's a new finding. I'm like, no, that's not what it is. I'm not even gonna let that seep through my head. I'm fine. I haven't had any symptoms. I don't be outside. And when I do go outside, y'all, I get in my car. I go to the park. I sit in my car at the park in the sun, and I let the sun shine on me through my sunroof, or I, you know, walk, you know, up and down the trail. Nobody's out there because it's early, and was during the day but people are not there, and I walk, and I come back. I let the sun hit me in my front. You know, I walk with the sun facing me where it hit my chest, and I let it hit my back. And then I sit in my car and I read a book, or I watch something on YouTube or something, and then, you know, I breathe in the fresh air, and then I come home, and it prevents me from being closed in, having cabin fever, you know, and it takes my mind off a lot. And it's like I just want to go back to work, and I miss that, but I just had to really get past that. Like the last couple of weeks, I just had to get my mind right, because this COVID-19 has me, it had me on edge. It had me paranoid. I didn't want to. I was so busy. I'm like, I would, you know, be like, I'm gonna get dressed up and I'm gonna do a video, and I get ready to do a video, and I'm like, okay, did I clean up? Did I wipe down? Okay, why my shoulders hurt? And y'all, when I finally calmed down, I remembered that the first day that I got home and my shoulders started hurting and I was sweating, I completely forgot that when I left, I turned my air off. And when I came back, I normally turn my air back on. And when I laid down, there is no air on. I don't have my ceiling fan on. It's hot as hell outside. And I got this big, thick blanket on over my head, and I'm sweating. And I'm freaking out. And I'm like, dummy, that's why you were sweating, you know. So I had to really talk to myself, because I really was going through something. So I'm not going to say 100%, but I'm not as stressful and mentally drained, and I'm not having that mental torment that I was having when this became like a really, really big problem. You know, Houston has a stay-at-home order, you know, but people here are really doing good. They're really doing good. When I say it's nobody really out, they're either going to work, in the store, home. People not playing, because I think we tested like I don't know if it's 5,000 or 7,000. It's one in between those two. We only have like maybe 1,000 cases. Wait, do we have 1,000 cases? We have 1,000 cases. Like 60 or 90 people recovered. Other people are still recovering, or they're mild. And we only had like 5 deaths, and that's in Harrison County. So people really have been practicing social distancing. When you go to the park, it wasn't like it was before. Like, you don't see groups of people. There aren't people playing cards. There aren't people playing basketball. If it is, it's 2 people playing basketball. You know, it's just not like when in the store they put stickers down so you're 6 feet apart. People are respecting people's space by staying apart. You know, everybody has on gloves. You know, the cashiers and waitresses, cashiers and people that's helping you, to have on gloves. And you know, I actually found this app called GoPuff, and they can deliver you stuff if you don't want to come out. So there are times if I don't want to go to the store, I can have them deliver stuff to me, and I can just ride around and get my fresh air, breathe it in, and come home and have my stuff either waiting for me by the door, and there is no contact, and I can pay for it online. So that's a blessing. And this right here, this ginger ale by Schweppes, how do you say this, y'all? If I'm saying it wrong, y'all. This right here, this ginger ale, that's right, y'all. Let me hold on. Let me see this. All right, there it is. Okay, this right here has been a lifesaver. My friend was like, Tiffany, be careful with your blood pressure, because hypertension kicks in, and your blood pressure, that's been a little too high. So she started talking to me about hypertension. I'm like, and they were telling me about hypertension as well at the hospital. So I started monitoring my blood pressure every day. I got blood pressure medicine to help with that, because I never had blood pressure issues, but apparently this stress and this me getting hurt had brought blood pressure issues. I did talk to orthopedic, because we can't go in the office, so I had to talk to him via video. And of course, he was telling me about my bulging disc. I can't go in, I can't get any medicine because what he wants to prescribe, they can't prescribe that right now. I don't really want another cortisone shot. I want this, he said I can either wait and maybe throughout this time I can kind of get through it and be able to go back to work without all of that, with all this time being off, because he can't do anything right now, so I'm basically on ice. I can't go to therapy, of course. So you know, I'm just kind of really taking time to myself. If I change my mind or I feel better, I can always call and tell them. But overall, it's just, it was a lot, y'all. It was a lot. It was a lot. That ginger ale helped me a lot. I drank that, and I started burping from, I swear, from my abdomen. Everything just came up, and all that pressure came off my chest, and I stopped having that burning in my chest, you know, and it just felt so much better. The food finally went down, and I was mentally okay, so I guess everything started going back to normal. But I'm very careful, you know. I'm very careful. Even though they wiped down the buggies at the store, I still take my little wipes. I got some extra wipes in my purse, and I take those wipes out and I just sit them. I don't even wipe, I just sit them right on top of the buggy, and I just walk with the wipes on the buggy. Y'all, I'm not playing. Anything that I take off the shelf, I wipe my hands with the wipes. I'm just trying to be on the safe side. So you guys let me know how you're feeling. You guys let me know what you're going through. If you're doing okay, I hope you guys are doing okay. I'm praying that, you know, we get through this. It doesn't matter what God you serve. If you serve God, if you don't, if you meditate, it doesn't matter. We just need a miracle. So let's all come together, and whomever we pray to or chant to or meditate to or whatever you do, ask them for a miracle. And not only that, I was actually invited to this Facebook group for flight attendants, and this Facebook group was a Facebook group for flight attendants across the board, all airlines. And y'all understand that page is such a blessing. You don't know how supportive people are on that page. I know that when we're out and about, when we're flying, and before all of this came around, you know, we get out, they're looking at us like, oh my God, here airline always singing, telling jokes, and all of that is put to the side. It's like I put my name on the list for anybody who may get, you know, caught up here in Houston and stranded and can't get anything. You know, we can come and leave stuff at the desk for them and not have any physical contact. I put my name on the list, so if anybody comes here and you're stranded or something happens or you're quarantined and you can't be around somebody, just let me know and I'll pick up something and drop it off, a care package for you or something. And it's just such a blessing, because all of those flight attendants, we all got together. We all talk, you know, to one another. We all give each other good advice. We all tell each other about different sites and, you know, different things to help us with, you know, financially. Or if we're, you know, like I said, somebody was stuck in, I think it was California, LA, and she was from New York. They went to her, she found that somebody was on her flight that was positive, but she didn't have any contact, but it still quarantined them. You know, a lot of people went to her hotel and dropped stuff off for her, and these are people from other airlines. And it, you know, I said it yesterday, and some other people said, thank you so much for this page. It's such a blessing, because I said this before, even though our companies are in competition, we're all family. And people say all the time, every day, thank you guys so much, thank you for your prayers. We prayed, you know, we, like somebody said, look, I'm going through something. I was quarantined because somebody was on, again, somebody's on the flight that may have been positive, so they're quarantined in unfamiliar territory. And so they're like, look, I'm getting depressed. So people start saying, hey, do you want to give me your number? Do you want to talk? Or hey, here, you know, there's, you know, somebody said, okay, let's do a thread of some funny stuff, or funny jokes, or funny videos or something. And we'll like recommend things like that, or different movies. So it's just such a blessing for all of us from multiple airlines to get together. Like some airlines closed and they came on and say, you know, this is my last day, I hung up my wings. And we're all like, okay, are you okay? I'm so sorry, do you need anything? And people, we're all just helping one another, and it's such a blessing. It's just hard. It's a horrible thing for it to be COVID-19 and bring us together, but for us to come together like we've been doing on this page, it's amazing. It's a blessing. And if I have any resources, I uploaded or something. But y'all, we just got to get through this, and I'm just happy that page exists. And it's just a lot going on, and we just need to get past this. I'm hoping that somebody come up with a cure. I'm hoping that it's some medicine that has already been in rotation that we can put together and it's a cure without having any trials, you know, or videos trials, not long trials, and we can just get this over with. So hopefully you guys like this channel. I mean, like this video. I just wanted to come and tell you guys what was going on. If you guys were experiencing anything I was going through, let me know, so we can make it through. If you guys need somebody to talk to, let me know. I see my number. Just let me know. And hopefully you guys are doing well. I love you so very much. I'm praying for everybody that's following me. I'm praying for everybody. Anybody that's not following me, I'm praying for everybody. And hopefully you guys are doing well, and it's such a blessing to have you guys here. I hope you guys enjoy this channel. I hope you guys do enjoy this channel, and I appreciate you guys, you know, sharing my world with me, with you. So I'll see you guys in a future video. Bye.